Me and my college group had to set one up for a band, and of all
Huh?
fucking songs this band wanted to play, they wanted to play that one Nirvana song.
I think I
You
know
want
exactly what
you
you're
want to
talking
guess it?
about.
Do you want to guess it?
Huh?
Me.
Yes.
Oh, I was kidding. I thought it was about to say "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Pissing in the peanut butter, jizzing in the jelly.
Just for some background, why I wanted to just talk about backing tracks. A band called Sleep Token has been controversial recently because of the fact that apparently they are going to be using a backing track of their guitarist and bassists live instead of them having to do it live, and it poses a question, or like more like a controversial opinion on like, you're going to see a band to see them live, right?
Yeah.
However, they aren't just, they're playing live tracks, right, but they're still not being there live. The reason why they're not is because they're sick, and they'll go on tour, and be like and shit. So they're deciding to play the guitar and bass live versions of them, but backing track wise, and it poses a statement of, do you want to see a band that has two members get your money's worth, which I think probably is about anywhere between like 80 to like 100 at this point. Yeah, you either get your money's worth and see the band live, just in general, or they give you either a refund, but they don't tour for another however long they don't tour for, but you get your money's back. However, there's also another catch as well. When you're going to their concert, because at the moment they're on tour with Bad Omens and Linkin Park, you get to see other bands. Obviously, Bad Omens aren't on every single tour with Sleep Token, because I think that would be a killer tour. Sleep Token, Bad Omens, and Linkin Park. Fuck yeah, let's go. For that situation specifically, because I have some other stuff I want to mention with backing tracks and shit like that.
Oh, I was gonna compare it to, like, for example, you got to see Eminem, right? Are you gonna be upset because Dr. Dre is not playing all the instruments in the background or anything?
No, that's not
No.
a bad comparison.
So,
But I also do think it's a little bit different for rappers, because rappers have to have a backing track 9 times out of 10, because they're not really playable instruments half of the time. Like, certain rappers, 9 times out of 10, do normally actually have a band live with them, and that play like certain bits live. Like, say, like at the moment with Eminem's recent show that he did in, I think, Texas it was, he did have a genuine band playing like certain things. It was stuff like that. But then obviously at some point, say for an example, Rap God, obviously for an example, Eminem played a backing track to Rap God, obviously, but he had the band playing certain bits about it. With rappers though, I think it's different to have backing tracks live, because you kind of need to have a backing track, because obviously when it comes to like you get some sort of random fucking instrument and that's like a flute, you're really gonna have someone play the fucking flute live for you just to rap over it. Come on now, you're just being fucking ridiculous at that point. Anyway, yeah, with modern bands nowadays, it's kind of normalized to use backing tracks because of the... I mean, do you really want a band, especially like a growing band, right, to have a fucking 70-piece orchestra behind them just fucking playing live? What the fuck do you want from that? Yes, I'm copying Andrew Baena. Fight me. But like, it's a good point. Do you really want like bands to like show up with a fucking 70-piece orchestra to do like a single part in a song? To also go off on what Penny just said then about bands being expensive. Yeah, no, it's going to be really fucking expensive to also bring anything on fucking tour as well. You have to also, what I'm going to say later in the video anyway, is bands have to pay a lot just to even get that first show to get into the venue before they even play the fucking show. So they have to pay for the venue, and then also pay for the people to bring along with them, like the 70-piece orchestra, which I over-exaggerated like hell, but it is a good point. But it's still really fucking expensive. So you're going to be sat there with a 70-piece orchestra, having to pay them for at least 1 minute of a fucking song, or even just a single part in a song. You're still having to pay them a lot. It's just waste of money at most times, and it's even costing money for bands nowadays to even go ahead and get anything to do with an orchestral anything, because you have to always, people always also still going to complain at the fact that if it's not real, no one's going to like it. And it's like, well, shit, what do you want from me, you know? And like, people will always think that like backing tracks are always strictly like guitar, bass, and vocals, when in reality they're not. They're either there to help people live, like remember their parts, like, you know, like vocalists nowadays, some vocalists like to listen to their own song to just hear that instead of like hearing the instruments on stage and shit like that. You know, just helps the vocalist be in time more, and, you know, with obviously a click track in there, you know, so you hear like a, and then you just hear like your own like song playing with you.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand the whole like why people are upset, because backing tracks are used a lot. Like, and also it's not as if this is how every single show with the band would go.
like, it's more than likely going to be a one-off. And to add on as well, it's also cost of shows too, because shows are expensive, and I am getting most of my information from Andrew Baena, because I mean, he right out also explained this whole situation as well on the video.
Well,
but sometimes even getting to a show, right, or like booking a show or anything like of the sort, right, can cost upwards of possible like 30k. And we're not going to sugarcoat it here. That's a lot of fucking money, right?
Yeah.
30 fucking thousand is a lot of fucking money. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather have my fucking band play that show and then decide to not play without me, than having to cancel a 30k show that we're not even probably going to get that money back.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather have my bandmates gain that money, possibly give me like a little bit, because I still did record like the track and it's still me playing technically with a backing track. But then, you know, I don't really want to cancel a show because, well, apparently I've been told Sleep Token don't even do different dates. Like, they cancel a show and that's it. They just cancel it. They don't do like reruns or redo dates, which is bad for them, but I'm not going to bother about it. It's not my place to really say. Don't know why they don't, but oh well. But I'd rather have my mates do the show and without me there, gain that money for the show, and then, you know, pretty much pay for it like that, in other words. And then if people are mad about it, they're mad about it. That's their issue, not mine.
Yeah, true.
Like, it can be caused as like, you're not playing your live, but like, in reality, what do you want me to fucking do? Sorry, I don't want to like split like 30k down the middle to then not get that fucking show because we had to cancel it because I'm sick. Backing tracks for modern bands are always used nowadays, and like for orchestral stuff, for like transitions, the bangs, some sort of emphasis if you really want to do that, pretty much like that. Where if you're playing like certain things, it can be like kind of like scratches and like a guitar take where you can't play that live and play something else at the same time, or like glitches, stuff like that, pretty much. Stuff in the backing track that you kind of need to have that you physically cannot play live, you know. And again, click tracks will always be a necessity because click tracks are just always useful if your whole band wants to stay in time, you know. So I think, in my opinion, right, it's worth going to a show to see, even if it's just 2 fucking members. I think it's still worth going to a show because you're still getting a live performance at the end of the day. But yeah, fine, 2 of the band members can't make it because they're sick. What do you want them to do? Do you just want them to become unmagically sick? Do you just have some unreal expectation that they're just like, all right, our 2 members are now back, haha, we're not going to play backing tracks with them anymore, you know, that's it. Like, what do you want them to do? If they're sick, they're sick. They can't do anything. But they don't want to, in the end, they don't want to really cancel a show. I think it's still worth going. Or better yet, if you have someone else that can play your band songs, I would rather recommend getting a replacement. That's what Ice Nine Kills did, actually. I then go on to say about how Ice Nine Kills went ahead and did the exact same thing with replacing people on tour. I'm gonna make this very short and simple, so let me start at the beginning. Dan Sugarman from Ice Nine Kills got surprised with cancer. If I'm correct, that is. I'll search this up when I can. He then got Miles Dimitri Baker from Interloper touring for them and learning Dan's songs in about 4 days. Then when they played in England this year, Pat had to go back to the US, if I'm correct, because of some emergency. So then they got the cameraman, Adam Reed, to play drums for them. And then later on in the year right now, Pat has now left the band and has left Mike, who is a design artist for a lot of different bands, to play drums for them. So I think if you're gonna do a show and you have to, and the people are gonna be mad about, you know, shit like that. It's either get a separate like musician to play your parts, or how about you shut fuck up and deal with it? Probably be a better idea. Oh, I'm very rude about it because it's like, what else do you want me to say? I'm not gonna sit and sympathize with you, and I don't really necessarily care that much. Yeah, I'm going for a live performance, but I'm not gonna be fucking annoyed if my favorite guitarist is sick and like he can't do a show, but then the band don't want to cancel because they're missing a guitarist. In the end, I go to the show just to see them live. Like, you know, just see a band live, not specifically that thing or anything of the sort. If any part of the bands that I went to have been called out sick, I think the thing that would annoy me the most is if they cancelled the show. If they cancelled the show, that's something I would be pissed about. Because I was, oh yeah, I'm really excited to see him there. Oh no, by the way, people for that, you know, you get refunded. And I'm there like, I got money, but at what cost? I paid for this concert. I got the money, I guess, but am I really happy about having the money? Not necessarily. I wanted to see this band for ages now, and now I can't see him. Really?
He's got a bow and arrow, for God's sake.
Yeah, and he didn't hit us. Oh, come on, mate, you're so low.
Holy.
I don't know what to say about that, but yeah. I'd go to a show if people were sick and had to use a backing track. That's my opinion. That's it. What do you think?
I agree. All there is to that is just the funny agreement.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Like, it's still a double-sided kind of thing. Like, I can agree with what people are saying. I want to go there and see them, but at the same time, I would rather spend the money and go see just generally them, instead of complaining about the fact that, you know, they cancelled the tour because 2 members are sick. Again, I'd be annoyed if 2 members are sick, if anything. But I'd be more annoyed if 2 members are sick and then they had to cancel it. So
yeah, so true. I mean, the reason why I haven't had much input, I've been to like 1 concert and that's it. And it was literally just for a band that my friend liked, and I was just being there because my friend wanted people to go with. What is it? The band Mother Mother, which good music as well. I did enjoy my time there, of course, but I don't listen to him. I didn't listen to him at that point. I just went because my mate wanted me to go, and that's my only concert experience. Because all artists I would actually go see for a concert, or would have in the past, they all tour in the US. Europe is like, what is it? Europe's like neglected by US artists.
yeah, you know what? If any band is listening to this and they half agree with my point, fuck you. Come to the UK, please. I want to see you, please.
Come to the UK and we'll defend you next time this happens.
Yeah, come to the UK and I will defend you with all my life. Like, you be getting like, everyone be getting the pitchforks and I'm stood there like, I'll destroy them all. They're all gonna die by my hands. Like the people with the pitchforks, not the band. The band are the ones
I got credit for that, I think. Yeah, I got credit because I tapped him once.
Fuck you. No, you tapped him before you killed him. Before you died. Hit him off the edge and you'll just say like, I know, if bands wanna do
Be
UK
careful
tours,
behind you.
Please come to the UK. I'm probably more than likely dying to see you. No one likes to come to the UK for some reason. Well, just Europe in general. Europe, in other words, is probably like what people mean by Europe is like the UK, Spain.
Yeah,
and that's it. Oh, Netherlands. That's all that I always see anyway. Lol, no egg.
that's
Let's
one
go,
more
Penny.
knocked off.
Penny, you got this. Oh my god, Penny. Penny cooking, let's go. That's my run basically completed. If you are pissy about a band that's going to be using backing tracks of their bandmates, just a FYI, who are using live versions, then honestly, I think you don't even deserve to see the band. In other words, you're just a bit of a pissy bitch. That's my opinion. That's it. Run over.